Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come out. And today, as you see there, we will be reacting to some Celtics trade ideas. I will be grading these on how I like them and based on realism. So, if the Celtics could do this, if it fits, and whether I just like the trade or not. Disclaimer, I was supposed to do this video a long time ago, like a couple days ago. I usually have like the split screen thing where it's my face on one side and then what I'm showing on the other side. It just was not working, so I took a little break. It's been too long of a break. I need to be doing this, breaking down the conference final series. So, and of course, you also got the Track trade machine up just to check and see if some trades are legal. Of course, the second apron is all wonky and wacky. So also a quick disclaimer, I don't know everything, so I'm going to give you my reasons for why I like a trade, why I don't like a trade, whether it's based off the second apron or whether it's based off the fit of the team. I don't know, but I want this to be a super interactive video. So if you agree with the trade, if you think that you like a trade that I didn't like, let's just talk about it. Let's be super interactive on this video. The Celtics are in for a really interesting offseason, so let's just get that pop. All right, so of course, the first trade is from my boy Bruce. What's up, Brucey? Everybody go follow him on Twitter. Follow him on YouTube on Celtics Digest right here. He does a lot for the Celtics and the Suns. Bruce, hit me up, brother. We got to talk. So first trade is, it looks like a salary dump of Sam Hauser. The Pistons received Sam Hauser. The Celtics received Simone Fontecchio and a 2028 first round pick unprotected. So this is what a Sam Hauser salary dump move looks like, right? It's Sam Hauser, who is has $10 million over the next 3 years. Not a horrible contract, but with the Celtics being in the second apron and having to share some contracts like a Kristaps Porzingis, like a Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser might be another casualty of that thing. And this is what the deal looks like. It's us giving our salary to another team for an expiring contract. Now, the Pistons fit is a good one for Sam Hauser. I think we're a year too late for them to absolutely need this, because before they got Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, and Beasley this offseason, they were starved for shooting, like literally starved. Those three guys have added something for K to pass out to. You know what I'm saying? You could always use some more shooting, and I think Beasley's on a 1-year deal. I think he's a free agent this offseason, so don't know where that's going. So Sam Hauser could be a nice younger option for them. And the only thing with this trade, I do like this trade. The only thing I would say is that I'm not sure how the Pistons value that 2028 first round pick. I don't know if teams are giving up unprotected first for Sam Hauser. The Pistons are projected to be in the playoffs, of course, in 2028, so maybe they don't value it too much, but we just have to see what the value is on that. Overall, this deal works. It allows the Celtics to save some money, especially for next offseason, and then they get a first round pick. So this is the foundation of a Sam Hauser salary dump type move. So I like that. Kuzma for White. Okay, this is a Bucks account. All right, brother, I'm gonna just go past that. Nas, what's up, baby? Appreciate you. Oh, I ain't even click on your profile, gang. Next trade is from Nas Ben Brady. What's up, brother? Appreciate you. Celtics get Herb Jones. Come on, guys, we can't do this. Can't do this, man. As much as I would love to get Herb Jones is one of the league's, it's absolutely one of the league's best defenders, and he's making like first Nas. I don't think this works, brother. See, this is why we gotta have this open, because Herb makes like what, 13 million over the next 2 years, and Kristaps makes 30 M's, and I know the Pelicans are a team that is at least in the first apron. So let's see, Kristaps Porzingis, even though I love the Porzingis fit with the Pelicans, is somebody next to Zion. They've been looking for a stretch five next to Zion for a long time that can defend the rim. The regular season version of Kristaps, when he's available, is that guy. So yeah, Herb makes $12 million, bro. This is not gonna work. So, and then we are not getting Herb Jones for Kristaps, guys. If that happens, I will happily eat my words and I'll be happy with Herb Jones. But I do not think we will be getting one of the league's best defenders for Kristaps Porzingis on an expiring contract. A guy that really has no value at this point. Even though he was good in the regular season, you know, he was what we think Kristaps Porzingis can be. He was that for a large majority of the regular season, but with this mystery illness that he has and the way that he performed in both playoff series, especially the one against the Knicks, he has no value right now. And the only thing that's saving him, the only thing that's saving us to bite being able to trade him, is that he's in an expiring contract. So teams won't really feel like there's a risk there But with Herb Jones, this trade doesn't work. But the next one is a PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford deal for Drew House and the first round pick. I don't think we can do that trade either. Because PJ makes 15, I think Gafford makes like 12, Drew makes 30, and Hauser makes 10. So 40 and 27, that's probably not going to work. But there are a lot of Maverick type deals where Drew goes to them. The Mavericks are one of the suitors for Drew Holiday. Well, the rumored suitors for Drew Holiday. I don't mind that. I think the package, I wouldn't mind a Washington Gafford package, because I think Washington is expiring next year. I think he's a guy that can play with Tatum or play alongside Tatum. I wouldn't really mind that, but let's just see. Let me just see if that works. I don't think Drew and Hauser works. I think we just might have to put Drew in there. This won't work because the Celtics cannot aggregate contracts. The only way the Celtics can aggregate contracts is if the trade that they're doing gets them under the second apron in that deal. So if there's a trade that puts them under the second apron, then they can put in 2 or more contracts. This deal is not one of those deals. PJ makes 15 million, Gafford makes 13, so that's 28 M's. You won't be able to add Sam Hauser into this. If you take Sam Hauser out, what's the money looking like? If you take Sam Hauser out, you still won't be able to do it. So yeah, nah. Nas, appreciate you for tapping in, but these deals don't work, brother. Next trade we got is from the Leprechaun. Celtics blow it up, but stay competitive, bringing in a ton of expiring contracts. Drop 28 million of salary. Get the okay. Lakers and Mavs go full win now mode with the excellent core they all have. Jazz get a young small forward for a mid first round pick. The Nets get a gritty, hungry, tough PG plus K. Clay. All right, guys. There's gonna be. I can already see there's gonna be a lot of Mavericks deals. I don't think we're getting the first overall pick, even though Nico Harrison has stated that he's in win now mode. Right? He wants to win now. So trading the first overall pick for a superstar level guy, maybe on his radar. If you're asking me, would I trade Jaylen Brown for essentially Cooper Flag? I would really think about that. I would really think about that. I would have to talk to Tatum because Flag, I don't know if he's ready to be a 1B option straight out the gate. We have this gap year that he can learn and possibly be ready next year. That's a lot for a rookie. So I'm just saying, like, this gap year if we bring in a younger guy, this gap year could really help them. Now, I got to talk to Tatum and say, hey, bro, this might take a little bit more time. Jaylen Brown is ready to be a 1B type guy. We know that. But with the contract situation, if we have the opportunity to get a lot cheaper and a lot younger, are you cool with that? We got to talk to Tatum about that. But Cooper Flag, hey, I'm down for that shit. I'm down for that. I just got to see if Tatum and Derek White, are y'all down for like at least 2 years of Cooper Flag trying to figure this NBA stuff out? You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to think about that. Now, with this trade, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and a 2031 first round pick lottery protected for Kristaps Porzingis and a second. I'm not doing this. For the Kristaps trade, right? His deal is expiring. So if the trade I'm doing isn't getting me expiring contracts or draft capital, then I'm not doing it. Now, a 2031 first round pick lottery protected doesn't do too much for me. If this was an unprotected pick from Lakers, then I would. Kristaps is not worth that, so I understand why you protected it. I don't think a lottery protected first is gonna make me take on 3 years of Jared Vanderbilt. If I have to take on 3 years of Jared Vanderbilt, I'm gonna just keep Kristaps Porzingis because he's expiring. I'm gonna let him expire next season. So I'm not taking on no extra years of contracts unless it's like really small contracts. I'm only taking expiring deals and an asset or something that I can use for the future. We're probably not gonna get that because Kristaps, again, his value is in the gutter. But I would only add picks if I'm getting something that I can use with Jason Tatum or it's a pick for the future. So I probably wouldn't do that. Now this next one is Gafford, PJ Walker. Guys, I don't think the Jazz are trading Walker Kessler for what? The Jazz get Max. They're not trading Walker Kessler for Max Christie. The Jazz are not trading Walker Kessler for Max Christie. He just came off the best season of his career. He just averaged 12 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2.5 blocks. That man is not getting traded for Max Christie. I love Walker Kessler. I will want Walker Kessler so bad. I remember during the season where everybody was like, guys, let's trade Jaden Spring and 2 first walk. Guys, they're not doing that. I want them to do it. I hope they do. I hope they would just give us him. But I don't see that happening. He is slated to get paid next season, so maybe that could be a point to why they trade him, but I just don't think they're gonna give him up for what they're doing. So the Celtics get Gafford, PJ, Walker, and a first overall pick. If this is the haul I'm getting, I'm with you, brother, but I just don't think it's real. Mavericks get Jaylen Brown and 3 firsts. Okay, wait. So the Jazz are giving up. The Jazz are in this trade to facilitate, but they're giving up the 21st overall pick and Walker Kessler for Max Christie. The Nets are giving up 2 first-round picks. Okay, they are also in this deal to facilitate. So they're giving up 2 first-round picks in a deal they're facilitating for Klay Thompson and Peyton Pritchard. Okay, they get young guy in Pritchard. They get Klay Thompson, who I guess they could probably flip, I guess. I don't see why the Nets give up 2 firsts for these guys. I mean, Pritchard probably. Klay, I don't know too much, but I don't like this deal for the Nets. I don't like this deal for the Jazz. The Mavericks will love this deal. The Celtics will love this deal. But I don't know. There's a lot going on there. But appreciate you, the Leprechaun, for tapping it with me. Ned Brandy, my boy, what's good, brother? Another variation from me. First move is straightforward. We duck the apron. Atlanta takes on a bunch of expiring contracts to get Walker Kessler. Utah chooses buying low on KP, who they tried to sign 2 years ago, over paying Kessler, who they've seen really non-committal towards. Okay, so the Celtics completely duck the second apron here. I went through all of the Utah Jazz's recent trades last year, year before. I did not see a trade where there was no draft conversation. I did not see one single trade where there wasn't no draft conversation. Now, if we're just getting Jaden Springer back, maybe the Jazz don't feel like they need conversation. Are the Jazz competing? Are they trying to get better? I don't know. I don't think the Jazz are just gonna take on KP and to give up Kessler. I don't know. Atlanta walks out the winner in this deal. The Celtics do too in this hypothetical because they get directly under the second apron with one move. They shed 30 million. They shed 28 M's in this deal. So I just don't think the Jazz help out the Celtics with no draft conversation because Danny Ainge knows that the Celtics, like, KP's trade value is in the gutter as of right now. The Jazz are not a team that's trying to be competitive. Maybe if KP is just one of those weird players that they like and they're cool with having him alongside their young core. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is a weird one. But we've seen way worse trades than this. This isn't a bad trade per se as far as like the fits for every team. Of course, Atlanta would love to have Kessler. The Jazz are just giving up Kessler straight up for KP, I guess. But they did try to sign KP a couple years ago. If it happens, I will be happy that we directly get under the second apron in one move. But appreciate you, Ned, for tapping in. Okay, this trade saves almost $6 million. Okay, Robert Williams and Matisse Thybulle and a first-round pick for Kristaps Porzingis. This trade I love, but it's not real. I would love Robert Williams to come back. Matisse Thybulle has a player option I'm pretty sure that he's going to pick up. So I believe this trade works financially, right? We're not getting a first round pick for Kristaps Porzingis plus players that can possibly play. If we're getting guys that can actually play on our team in a trade that we're trading Kristaps, we're probably going to have to give up that draft capital. And it's a 2030 Milwaukee swap. That's pretty valuable, especially if Giannis actually requests a trade. That is valuable as hell. I know Rob can't really stay healthy. That breaks my heart, but I would love to see him back in green. Matisse Thybulle is one of these best defensive playmakers. He can't really shoot that well. He's on an expiring contract. So this deal is perfect for the Celtics. You get 2 expiring contracts. If Rob is healthy, he can play for you. And you get a Milwaukee swap in 2030 for Kristaps. So I love this deal for the Celtics. I don't see why the Blazers do this deal, but I appreciate you, Richard, for sending this in. All right, Drew 2027 first and 2030 swap for Devin Vassell. I wouldn't do this, but if I had to trade White to Dallas for Lively, Christie, PJ, and first. Does that deal work? Lively makes 4, Christie makes 7, PJ makes 15, White makes 30 next season. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But okay, so Drew 2027 first and 2030 swap for Devin Vassell. If I'm the Celtics, I don't do this. I think Drew is a little different from KP, where I think Drew still has some value. Of course, he's not on a great contract. He's going to be making 38 M's at 38 on the player option. The regular season was a little bit wonky for Drew, but the postseason he shows time and time again, and he showed in this postseason that he's a 16-game player. So when the playoffs start, Drew Holiday is a guy that's gonna turn it up, and he did that this season. Did a phenomenal job guarding one of the league's best guards in Jalen Brunson. Of course, it didn't turn out to anything because the Celtics still lost. But I think Drew Holiday still has some value because he's such a portable player and he's a 16 game player. I like Devin Vassell. Oh, we can't even do this. This trade doesn't even work. This trade doesn't work for the Celtics. So maybe we could do some other things, but I wouldn't give up 2 firsts for Vassell. That's just me. I do like Vassell, but for 30 M's, him, JB, and Tatum, we need to get away from the $30 million role guy. We need to get guys that contribute on lesser contracts. So even though I do like Vassell, Calcifer, appreciate you. But let's go through these other ones for you. I wouldn't do, okay, so you said White to Dallas if it came to it, for Lively, Christie, PJ, and a first. That's not a bad return, bro. That's not a bad return, especially if we're trading KP like you are in this one. So I'll go down to that one next. Especially if we're trading KP, I don't mind Lively. I like Max Christie. PJ is an expiring contract and is a role player that can play with Tatum and Brown. And a first. I don't mind that deal. I really don't. I would hate to trade Derek White. I don't want to trade him. But if we had to and this was the return, I wouldn't mind it. Dallas fans, y'all can, if there's any that's watching this, y'all can let me know, see what y'all think about that. Now, this last trade, the Celtics receive Anthony Black and KCP. Okay, I like Anthony Black as a young guard. As a young defensive guard who, if we can get his shot right, kind of like what we did with Derek White, we can really reap the benefits on that return. KCP has a 1+1 player option deal, so he'll expire the next season. New Orleans receives KP and Cole Anthony. The Magic receives CJ McCollum and Alvarado. Why do the Magic do this deal? They're trading Anthony Black, KCP, and Cole Anthony for a year of CJ McCollum and an older CJ McCollum. They do need shot creation. I do agree. They do need shot creation. But I don't think you trade Anthony Black for CJ McCollum. I don't think that's what you do. I do like Anthony Black, of course. And the last trade for the Celtics, I would do. For the Pelicans, I would do. For the Magic, I think they're getting hold a little bit. Now we got 18 of them things. What's up, brother? We got Andrew Wiggins to the Celtics and Walker to the Celtics for Kristaps Porzingis and Clay Larson. The Jazz don't do this. To me, we've seen worse trades. I don't know what the league is thinking. All right, 5 Ronnie's burner. What's up, my boy? All right, says it's not legal. We're pretty sure it is. Celtics will save 50 M's in trade and get 50 M TP to use next season. Celtics will also get Golden State picks in 2029 to get stipend flexibility in 2027 or 2031. GS might have to, okay, so we got the Hawks get Sam Hauser, a shooter with size, and then the Celtics get Moses Moody, Podziemski, 3 seconds and 2 first swaps from the Warriors. The Nets get Porzingis, no draft capital back for them, and Buddy Hield goes to the Heat. They get some shooting, and the Warriors get Derek White. Okay, so this deal for us is Derek White for Moses Moody, Podziemski, and some picks. So I don't like the players I don't like Podziemski that much. I am higher on Moses Moody. First round picks from Golden State in the future do interest me. A pick swap from Golden State in 2028 or 2030. You don't know where Steph Curry is going to be, right? So that could be really valuable. They could be in a full reset type of timing. So these picks interest me, but I need players, right? If I'm trading Derek White, I'm going to need better players because that's Tatum best friend off the court and on the court. I got to make sure that Tatum is cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that the Celtics are trying to do is to get better when Tatum gets on the court. So if that's to get cheaper now, if that's to get younger now while he's gone for the season, that's fine. But I'm gonna need better players back if I'm trading Derek White. If this was a KP deal, like you can take off the players, you can give me the picks, or you can take, it don't matter. But for Derek White, I'm gonna need a little bit more than this. But I appreciate you, Ronnie, for tapping in. So Jack Clark says Porzingis, 2 Hawks for George Niang, Terrence Mann, that's Terrence Mann, and 2025 first round pick. The Hawks are not trading a first round pick for Kristaps Porzingis. Terrence Mann has a 3-year deal. I would take the deal if they're giving me a first round pick, but the Hawks are not trading. Like I think that's the 13th pick or either the Lakers 22nd pick. They're not trading that pick for Porzingis. But appreciate you, Jack, for tapping in. Okay, Luke, what's good, brother? Jalen Clark, the Celtics can do sign and trades or acquire a player through a sign and trade if they don't get under the second ABD in that deal. So this trade does not work, but I'll grade it off value, I guess. So Jalen Clark, a 2nd round pick, Naz Reid, and also Naz is not signing for only $10 million. So T-Wolves get Drew Holiday. I love this fit for the T-Wolves. I love it. They also get 3 firsts. Oh, wow. Okay. But Conley and Rob Dillingham. Nets give up 2 firsts for Rob, even though I do like Dillingham a lot. I'm not sure. But the Celtics, like, they can't do this deal. Nas Reed, we can't acquire Nas Reed on a sign and trade if we're still under the aprons. So we can't do that. But I appreciate you for tapping in. Part 2, Smart and come on, Lou, come on, brother. We gotta think about this, man. We gotta think about this. The Wizards were just the second worst team in the NBA. That is not gonna change in 2027. The state of their team is not gonna change in a year. We cannot take their unprotected first round pick for Kristaps of all people. We cannot take one of the most valuable first round picks unprotected for Kristaps Porzingis. I would love Marcus Smart to come back, an expiring contract. If we can get this deal, I would be ecstatic, bro. But we can't take away their first round pick unprotected for Kristaps. That's just not gonna happen. All right, PJ Washington, Gab. We already saw the Mavericks type deals. I think Brown would be the only high salary guy they would give much for, so I made these with him in mind. Jalen Johnson has a 5x $30 million extension kicking in on July 1st. ATL has a $25 million trade session. Oral Clicker Pay is expiring to make up the difference in money. Likely that picks need to be added. Okay, first trade is the okay, listen. If the Pelicans offer me this, do you know what I do? I pick up the phone. They tell me this trade. I say, hold on one second. Put them on mute. I happy scream to the rest of the room. Collect myself, unmute, and say, yeah, I think we could do that. And I hang up. I love Jaylen Brown. Again, I said earlier, Herb Jones is one of the best defenders in the NBA, making $12 million over the next 2 years. Zion Williamson, while has not been available for the past couple years. He played, how many games did Zion play this year? How many games did Zion play this year? Because I know when he came back, he was one of the best per minute producers in the NBA. He played, how many games he played? 30. Not good. 24, 61, 29, 70, 30. You don't know what you're getting out of Zion. You have no idea. But man, when I tell you this, he's raw. He is good, man. And then you giving me Herb Jones. Pattern is don't play, play. Don't play, play. Don't play. Hey man, we might take a chance on him. But yeah, I don't think the Pelicans do this deal. This does not help with our second apron stuff. But if we get those two players, I don't think it matters. We get younger. We don't get cheaper, but we do get younger. I just don't think this is realistic for the Pelicans. Hawks trade Jalen Johnson straight up for Jaylen Brown. Okay. I love the trajectory that Jalen Johnson is on. I'm pretty sure the Hawks do too. He was running away with most improved player until he got hurt. Ended up going to his teammate Dyson Daniels. Yeah, he said something about the bread, which this wasn't work. But I don't think the Hawks are that pressed to get Jaylen Brown. I don't think they're that pressed to just go up a notch, to a small notch at that. That quickly. He's averaging what, 20, 10, and 5 as a 22, 23-year-old. Jaylen Brown is 100% the better player right now. I just don't think the Hawks are that pressed to get slightly better in the East to give up Jalen Johnson. So I'm not sure about that one. But appreciate you. America's a fucking dump. I like your name and I agree. Holiday plus Hauser equals Jabari Smith plus pick 10. Deal won't work money wise. We will have to get back Van Vliet or a combination of Brooks and somebody else. But I'm not sure if a team gives us a top 10 pick for Drew Holiday. I think Drew to the Rockets is a good fit. He fits their defensive culture. He also helps with their catch and shoot threes. They're one of the worst catch and shoot three teams in the NBA. Their half-court offense is just not good. But Drew does fit them. I just don't think they give up a young guy and a top 10 pick. But appreciate you, 2K Celtics. Let's get weird. Okay. No. Let's not get weird. That's too weird for me. Way too weird for me. Garland to the Celtics with Jared Allen. Cavaliers get fucking scary. Oh my, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and Cam Johnson. Jesus. For Hunter, yeah, the Nets don't do this. They don't get any draft conversation. Hunter's a cool young guy, but he's already making 20 M's. Strus is a role player that should be on a contender team. McCorrell is a young guy that hasn't blossomed yet. Can play some defense, of course. Then you get Dean Wade. I'm pretty sure the Nets would rather have draft conversation. Celtics don't do this at all. Like, Garland is a good creator on the offensive side of the ball, but we've seen how we've hunted him. We don't want that to happen to us. So, Joe, a little too weird for me, brother. Appreciate you. I was bouncing some far-fetched ideas off of my cousin for a 3-teamer with Cooper Flag to Boston, Brown and KD to Brown and KD, Jesus. Lively, Christie, and Bolo to picks Phoenix. Bring back Isaiah Thomas. I agree with you. Appreciate you, but I don't know about that, brother. KB for Jokic, like. Any way to get Jalen Smith for KP? I'm not sure. I like the Bulls as a trade destination for the Celtics because I love Lonzo. He's a 6'6" point guard who can pass the ball, who's a pass first, can shoot the ball, is a great defensive playmaker. But the recent trades that the Bulls have done are the opposite of what a Drew Holiday trade would be. They're trying to get younger and cheaper. They trade Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. They trade Zach LaVine for role players. So again, they're not a greatly ran organization, so they could just switch like that. But if I'm going off their recent direction, I don't think it's realistic for them to trade for Drew Holiday, but I would love to, because Lonzo Ball again is a player that I would love to bring in. But Jalen Smith is a guy that they like, I believe. For KP, we'll probably have to attach picks. Also, the Bulls will have to attach some more contracts to that because Jalen Smith does not make a lot of bread. KP does. So I don't hate the idea, but yeah, I'm not sure. Next trade, long shot and picks need to be sorted out, but just wanted to see if this money work. Okay, Celtics get Bam. Again, I love that. Jaden Hardy, Haywood Highsmith, Dwight Powell. He get Kristaps, PJ, Sam, Caleb Martin. Mavericks get Drew and Kyle Anderson. So the Celtics get under the second apron and get the best player in the trade. Heat trade Bam Adebayo for a year of Kristaps, PJ Washington, Sam Hauser, Caleb Martin. The Heat don't do this. Mavericks would do this. Hardy, Powell, Washington, and Caleb Martin for Drew Holiday. The Mavericks do this. Celtics do this, but the Heat get screwed in this deal. I don't mind the Heat getting screwed at all, but I don't think it's realistic, but appreciate you. These trades are crazy, says Mike. Drew, agent contract, and KP readily available are not tradable. Thus, to get under the second apron, waive and stretch KP, trade Hauser for a pick to a team under the cap, White, Drew, PP, Brown, Tatum, mid-February, Shyman, Al Horford on the vet minimum, and Kata, 41-41. While I do agree with the KP thing that he is has little to no value, I disagree on the Drew one because again, like I said earlier, that he's a 16 game player. A team that's contending or trying to contend will value that, right? Of course, his contract isn't the best. He will be 38 years old, making 38 M's on the player option. But Drew has shown that he is still a 16 game player. He came out after a fairly wonky regular season and guarded one of the best guards in the league and held him to a 35% effective field goal percentage in Jalen Brunson. Now, we didn't do anything with it, but we saw how valuable Drew Holiday is still to this day in the playoffs. So now I'm obviously not counting for regression that could most definitely happen with him being an older guy, but I don't think Drew Holiday is untradeable. That is just nonsense. Connor Gray says Drew Holiday plus picks for top 10 pick. They either get Trey Johnson or Kasparas Yakachonis. Again, I don't see a team trading the top 10 pick for Drew Holiday. We saw the Rockets deal floated out there. A good destination for him, but I'm not sure that we get a top 10 pick for him. But thank you, Connor. So the Magic get shooting. Jazz say screwed the tanking and try to pivot with a star. Celtics share over $20 million in salary. Build our front court depth in the event that Al retires or Luke gets a bag. Okay, that's actually worse. So, okay, the trade here is John Isaac, Walker Kessler, Isaiah Collier, pick 5 and 21 to the Celtics. The Magic get Sam Hauser, John Collins, and Con Sexton, and a 2030 Clippers swap. And the Jazz get Jaylen Brown and Cole Anthony. I just don't see the Jazz just switching up their whole state like that. I don't think they just was like, okay, yeah, let's contend now and do this. They're giving up a lot. They're giving up Sexton, John Collins, Collier, who just broke their rookie season assist record, is a really young guy that I like, who is really fast, really athletic, can accelerate, can really pass the ball. He needs to stop turning the ball. Well, of course he needs to stop turning over, but he's a rookie guard. All rookie point guards turn the ball over, so it is what it is. And they're giving up pick 5 and 21 in this draft, which is really valuable. If I'm the Celtics, I probably say yes to this, even though like you're getting super young. You're telling Tatum that, hey, we're gonna need some time. But I don't know, man. This is a lot. I just don't see the Jazz flipping that switch like that this quickly. Celtics get John Isaac plus 16. Magic get Drew Holiday and pick 36. Cole Anthony, Gary Harris. Okay, the Nets facilitate this and don't get any draft capital. John Isaac's contract is pretty complicated, but I think the last 2 years aren't guaranteed if he doesn't play 52 games. So maybe, but I think that would be worth it if we were able to get the 16th pick from Orlando. Maybe Orlando does this. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure about that one. Celtics draft. I'm not sure about that. That's not bad, but I'm just not sure. Professional Ball Knower says KP, Drew Hauser, 1 first, 1 second for Smart, AJ Johnson, Poole, and 18. I don't think either team does this. The Wizards are giving up the most valuable pick in this deal while getting back salaries that they don't want. They just traded for AJ Johnson, who's a first-round pick, and they're trading their starting guard. I don't even think the Celtics want Jordan Poole. That doesn't really solve your second apron problems because he's locked up on a sizable contract. Yeah, I don't know about this deal, Professional Ball. No, we appreciate you for tapping in. I heard Tatum for young. Yep, nope. Porzingis and Shyman for Ant Edwards and Julius Randle. Like. There you go. Okay. So Derek says Tay Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, and unprotected 2029 first for Drew. Wow, I would absolutely hate Drew Holiday on the Heat. Tay Rozier is an expiring contract. Jaime Jaquez, who had a sophomore slump of a year, but is still a young guy, and a 2029 protected first from the Heat. Not knowing where they will be. I guess this deal just depends on how you feel about Jaime. I'm not super high on Jaquez, so I would probably say no, but I don't hate this because we get an unprotected first, and we get a young guy, and we get Terry Rozier, who, like, the Holiday contract completely comes off the books next season. We just have Jaime Jaquez is $3.6 million, and we'll have the unprotected first. So this just depends on how you feel about Jaime Jaquez. I'm gonna lean no, but I don't hate this, Derek. I don't hate this at all. Can we please stop? Can we please not spend another offseason doing this? Man, this franchise has been winning for 7 years straight, and we have only had one offseason where the discussions didn't involve breaking it up. I get it, you need content. I don't think this is breaking it up. We still have Jason Tatum. We're most likely gonna still have Jaylen Brown and Tarek White. We just don't need $30 million role players that are old or getting older. So I don't think it's breaking it up. I do need content, but that's not why I did this. I really just wanted to hear you guys think about or what you guys thought about this and stuff like that. So okay, I'm not gonna be looking at the same trades. There's a lot of Maverick trades here. So Darsky, appreciate you. I think I gave my thoughts on the Herb Jones stuff, guys. So Richard and Bernstein says, oh, okay, this ain't bad. The Clippers, who is another good spot for Drew Holiday, is a playoff team. They're trying to contend. They're trying to get deeper than the first round. They lost in 7 to the Nuggets. Drew Holiday is a person that probably can help that. They give up Norman Powell and Nick Batum. The Celtics get rid of the Drew Holiday contract in one season straight like that. 2 expiring contracts in Nick Batum and Norman Powell. Norman Powell is a cool scorer, average 20 points this season. Celtics could probably flip him or re-sign him for less next year if he complies. It is what it is. But we get directly off the Drew Holiday contract with this move. The Clippers get a point guard that they can trust in the playoffs. I don't hate this. Of course, I would want either a pick or like a young guy or guys that can help Tatum when he comes back. But if you're trying to just get off the Holiday contract, this is a perfect deal. All right, so Roger that says Bam Adebayo for Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love for Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure. I would love Bam Adebayo. Would I trade Jaylen for it? Maybe not. But do he do this? I don't think so. But we'll see. Positive change. Hope you bring positive change. What's up, brother? Okay. KP for Larry Marketing. Okay, trade their best player for our guy on an expiring contract. KP / Drew and picks for Embiid. Nah, Embiid not gonna play in the playoffs, bro. He's not gonna. It's gonna be the same stuff. He's not gonna be reliable in the playoffs. So it is what it is. Another Mavericks deal. Does that say AD, brother? I gotta go past that, man. Another Mavericks deal. Okay, JW for. Oh, ew, no. Okay. While this would absolutely crush everything for Thunder, Derek White, Shea, Caruso, this will crush the league, man. Even though this will crush the NBA, I would not mind Cason Wallace at all. Is one of the best perimeter defenders already in the NBA at 6'2", 6'3". Aaron Wiggins is a good scorer, shot creator. We get a Denver top 5 protected pick in 2028. Okay. While I do like the foundation of getting Cason and picks, I need more on the pick side if I'm giving up Derek White, especially to OKC, because I know you got them picks. Don't be stingy with them. If I'm giving you Derek White, I know I can get a first round pick for this year or next year. I know I can. So take all them picks off. I don't want your first, OKC. I don't want the Nuggets first. I know you got picks this year. Send them over here. So I like the foundation. I'm gonna need more on the pick side. So JW, we can come back to that if the Thunder tell me that, hey, take these picks, brother. I don't know if I want to click that, man. Sam to Detroit for 2025. Okay, hold on. Tiro says Sam to Detroit for 2025 first. Holiday for Smart. KP and our brother, you got a Sam to Detroit for 2025 first. They don't have a first. Okay, yeah, they don't have a first. So 2027, sure. Salary dump, fine. Holiday for Smart. Why would the Wizards do that? KB and our first to LA for Rui and AR. The Lakers would trade AR. Wait, hold on. Wait, we're getting AR to flip him for Wendell Carter Jr. Tiro, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. I don't know about that, man. We already talked about the Pelicans. What the Jerry? Oh my God. Okay. Trey Young, Bam Monte, Georges Niang go to the Celtics. The Heat get Kristaps Onyeka and 3 firsts, 2 this year. The Hawks get JB and Drew. It's a lot going on here, man. Celtics get Trey Young and Bam Adebayo, which, I mean, can I even pass that up? I'm not sure. Trey is a supreme creator, one of the best offensive players as far as like points responsible for, as far as like points scored and assists. Y'all know how I feel about Bam. The Celtics probably, but the Hawks get Jalen and Drew. I don't know if are the Hawks this pressed to like get better. I'm not sure. They really like Okongwu. I know that for sure. They really like Okongwu and they're first. There's a lot going on here. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Did he say no to this? Well, do they? Okongwu and 3 firsts for Bam. I don't think the value is off here. I just think there's way too much going on and that is unrealistic. So value wise, you might have something because you gave picks to the Heat because they're giving up Bam for a year of Kristaps and you're getting a younger big in Okongwu. But the Hawks now have no big, right? But they got Clint. Yeah, the Hawks are left without a 5. So I don't know, but not bad value wise, but I think it's unrealistic. But that is the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I did not think that post would get that many replies and impressions, so appreciate y'all. Again, if you agree with something I said, if you have a trade that's not in here that you would like to submit to me, please put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's be really interactive in this video. The Celtics have a really interesting offseason ahead of them, so I don't mind talking about that at all. So let's get it in. Let's talk about it. But that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just go out there a little bit more. And I will see you guys next video. This is Nick. Peace.